Hello folks, Dr. Nair here, and in this lecture video series, we'll be talking about the skin, which we call the integumentary system. So we'll start off really by talking about what our skin does for our body. So our skin surrounds our whole body. It's pretty much the most superficial structure we got in our body here. And it does actually a lot of things for us. It's pretty important. So first of all, protection. What it's really meant for, the big function of it, is to protect what is underneath the skin. We're talking about blood vessels, muscles, internal organs, all that good stuff is being protected by the skin. Now, protection comes in all different forms. We have, for example, physical protection. So if you ever fall and scrape yourself, you scrape your skin before you scrape delicate things like muscles and other kind of important structures inside. You're protected by light, specifically UV light. UV light can't really enter too deep into your skin and, disrupt function in your body because we have the epidermis and we have the skin, things we'll talk about a little bit later. And of course, it acts as a seal against pathogens. Bacteria and viruses can't just simply wiggle their way into your muscles, blood vessels, and other parts of your body because they are getting blocked by your skin here. This is why if you suffer burns and you lose a big portion of your skin, you're actually very susceptible to infection. And so big function here is protection. But there's more. We have body temperature regulation. We'll have a quick video at the very end talking about this, but your skin is actively used to regulate your body temperature. Physical sensation, all kind of mechanical sensation of touch, feel, pressure, all those sensations come from your skin as well. And then a very important vitamin, vitamin D, is actually synthesized by cells found in your skin. When they're exposed to light, they'll produce vitamin D, which is really, really important for your body. And then, of course, it waterproofs your body. As we mentioned before in the last lecture video series about cells, we are mostly water. And we need to do a very good job making sure that water stays inside our body and doesn't simply evaporate away from us like water in a cup or bowl here. And so our skin does that for us. It makes sure that it's nice and waterproof. And so water doesn't simply just evaporate off our body for the most part here. Now, if we look at this picture, this is what we call an electron microscope image of the skin here. And this is a very detailed image here. And the main thing I want you to get at is the skin is really an organ system. There are a bunch of organs. Maybe they don't look like a liver or a stomach or even a bone, but we have small organs that comprise our skin here. We have many layers of tissues here, and then embedded in some of these layers are organs like hair follicles and small little muscles here. And so when we go through this lecture video series, we'll talk about the different layers of the skin and the different tiny organs you can find within our skin. This is why we call our skin, the integumentary system, an organ system, because it's really a collection of organs here. So let's break down the basic layers of our skin here. So here is a picture. So here we've taken a little sample of our skin here, and we're zoomed into it here. So this is the superficial side. Here's the deeper side here. So this is the part that faces the outside world. This is what faces kind of internal organs. And we'll see there are three basic layers. The first one is the most superficial layer here. It's the epidermis here. We'll have a whole video talking about the epidermis soon, but just know the epidermis is the most superficial layer here. Then we have the dermis here. Dermis sits underneath the epidermis here and supplies a lot of blood vessels to the epidermis here, among other things. And then below that, and kind of falling off the picture here, is the hypodermis. We'll have our own video about the hypodermis as well. Hypodermis is technically not part of the integument, but we'll talk about that later. In general, we can also group the epidermis and the dermis and call this the cutaneous layers. When we want to talk about true skin, we're really talking about the cutaneous layer. But you've probably heard this term before, the subcutaneous, right? If you got maybe a subcutaneous injection or implant, it goes here, the hypodermis. Another name for the hypodermis is the subcutaneous layer here. And that's really it. This is kind of the basic structure and function of the skin. Keep these layers in mind because the following videos will be dedicated to each of these layers here. And so I'll see you for those videos. Bye.